Well, good morning. It's a Saturday morning here right now. I'm doing this video and I've been thinking about this for about 2 days. And so we're going to start a new series with Let's Learn Together. And we're going to talk about basic motors, more in the world that I'm comfortable with, and why I like to go into some of the different size categories, and what I believe from my bias and my experience seems to work. And on the internet, and especially the YouTube builders, there's a lot of terminologies out there. One of them is let me do me and you do you. Everyone has their own version of doing it, and a lot of these people have a lot of followers. And I'm the old school, where I came from Southern California, where I lived there for 30 years. I was born and raised in Simi Valley, and then I lived in Palmdale the last couple of years, and I was exposed to the world of Volkswagen modification back in the 80s and 90s. And then I got a little bit more into living in Palmdale, where we had a LACR. While it was open, now it's closed, or at least that's what I was told. And then we had a lot of off-road racers. And one of the guys was my neighbor, and he was sponsored by Valvoline. And I learned some stuff from him, and he was in that 1600cc class. So there's a lot of stuff I've learned, and from my own bias and from others. And fortunately, right now, I have multiple motors that are either mine or a few of my friends and a couple of my customers. So my bias has been changing, so I just wanted to explain a few things to you. So if you wouldn't mind, here we go. We're going to get into the basics of what I believe are 3 different levels that I'm going to be involved with building. For me, it's the basic series, and then it's going to be the premium series, and then it's going to be the platinum series. And of course, my range that I'm at is about right here in the Volkswagen building world. You can go all the way down over here where, I want an original 1200cc with original, I believe, 28 pit carburetor from Wolfsburg, Germany, and that's the only one I'm going to use. And then you got the extreme level, I'm going to call it the extreme level, where you have pro stock, with people like Pat Downs. You want to compete against him, or the Ron Loomis Racing chassis cars and turbo motors. That's extreme. I'm going to be in here where I believe most of the street drivers will be. There are some people on the internet, especially on YouTube, who just do some crazy good job, crazy good motors. You got John from Powerhouse, and you got all these different people who just do an amazing job. And a lot of these guys just use all brand new parts, and that's all they use. And or Raby, or he's Type 4, so he's going to use an original Type 4 case, and that's going to be done. And it looks like a surgical room. And then you have the extreme of somebody. I follow a lot of people in Mexico and South Africa and other places, where they'll pull an engine out on the side of the road, tear it down, and slap in new piston rings and some new bearings. And a couple hours later, they're putting it back together, and a couple of them get underneath the car and they slide the motor back in. Wow, some crazy stuff. I'm going to be somewhere in between the surgical room and the on the side of the road rebuilding an engine. So we're going to go in between, and that's where I'm going to be focused on. So if you wouldn't mind, here we go. All right. Well, actually, I forgot to show today. I'm wearing my little Ron Loomis Racing shirt. And I love Ron and everything that he does. I've been working with him for years and years and years. This is one of, well, I won't say one of my cars. This is my car, my personal car. So I have a little opening for some carburetors. And then here is, his some of his suspension parts. As you can tell, we can go a little crazy in here. Ron is just one of those people like Pat Downs and so many others who just know their stuff, and I learn from them all the time. But let's back to where I'm talking about. So a lot of things I like to do, and this is just my little 2 cents, the way I like to build things, is I'm going to look at some of the combinations, and I'm showing you my little cheat sheets. Don't go too crazy on me. And a lot of it has to do with some of the cases that I have, some of the parts that I have, some of the parts that are available. This is 2025. And it doesn't matter which side you're on with the tariffs and where the U.S. economy used to be and where it needs to be and where we've learned and where we've adapted. So actually, I'm changing some things. I mean, this motor here was supposed to have some 92 thick walls, but I have to go with some 90.5s because I got to look at availability of what's available and a couple different engine sizes. So here we go. I'm just going to explain a couple little things here. So on this motor here, this is going to be a premium motor for me. So on this one here, I like this. This is going to be more of a touring motor. For me, there's a difference between a cruiser motor and a touring motor. Cruiser motor is more around town and some highway. Touring motor can definitely be almost like the European touring, where you're actually on the Autobahn or the highway, but then you can also have a little fun around town. So here I'm using a Scat, and this is a Scat 78.8. I like these Scat cranks. And of course, some of the haters are going to say, this is a cast crank. It's going to blow up, over 5,000 RPMs, da-da-da-da-da. I mean, it goes down the road. If it's built right, and if you look at the application you're trying to do, this will work. And this, I don't have, 50,000 miles on this cast crank. But we've had many, many miles, a lot of satisfied customers. So this keeps the cost down. And every time you turn around, there's another cost, and it can get into the thousands of dollars. So this is a 78.8 Scat crank. Normally, either I'll have the steel or the chromoly flywheel. This customer here wants the chromoly flywheel. And of course, it's 8-dowel with a lot of Scat. So this is the Scat chromoly flywheel. And then I was posting the other day on putting the dowel pins in. And I had an idea, but it was interesting. Go online. This is one of the sites I like to go to. Here we go. Come on. We got some great engine builders and a lot of people. Some of the sites I posted it, they gave me completely wrong information or from their bias, which I don't believe was correct. But this is one of the great sites. And let me just tell you about, here's like one person, and I followed him for years. And then actually he's been building some of my motors recently, Thomas Simpson. And Simpson race engines, and he gives all these details, and I come back and I go check some of my specs and I send it back to him. And that's one of the beautiful things, that the internet is full of a lot of great people who can help you out. And so my little 2 cents to that. And then of course you got VW Darren, and you have Easy Jeezy, and it just goes on and on and on. So let's get back to this motor. Sorry, I'm rambling here. So this is 78.8. And on this one here, we're using the VF4, and these are the AA Performance rods. I like these rods. They do a good job. And for most applications, especially if it's a lower RPM, more torque motor, the normal bolts work. But this customer, we went with the ARP bolts. And if you option it when you buy them, they're not that expensive. But if you buy the bolts all by themselves after you build it, it can get costly. But this customer just wanted, it's kind of a touring motor, half cruiser motor, because they wanted the light and flywheel. They wanted the chromoly. I don't know what clutch they're going to be using, but I've told them try not to go past a Kennedy stage 1 because this cast crank wasn't designed for that. But in this application, it's going to be fine. So here's a little book I like to use. I've been only using it for a few years now. The Complete Idiot book. So I've been a complete idiot for over 40 years. And I like to use this book. I like to use it as a reference. There's a lot of good books, a lot of good technicals, but I like using the Idiot book. And, here's the old school, the way we used to balance things. Now, I have the gram scale. And if it's our platinum motors, then we send them out and have them all done. But for the premium motors, I do them myself, and they seem to work out really well. For this motor build, we're going with the Molly bearings. We all know the history and everything that's going on with Silverline. But of course, you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So this one, we're going with the Molly. And then we went with a Coleman Schmidt rod bearings. And this is going to be built pretty well. And then I highly recommend, you can get at Lowe's, you can get the Craftsman. They got the other ones, just the a half inch drive, but I like using the 11 millimeter 12 point. And that works really, really well with these bolts, star bolts that are on there. Just a couple of little things. So with this one here, this is something I've recently done. I got the motor stand, and then in the barn where I do a couple more of them, I can bolt the crank to my mounting system. But I like doing it here. Number one, it's in my garage, so I can just come out here at 3:30 in the morning, do a little bit of work, and I don't do this full time. I do this part time. I'm a technical writer in another industry, and I've been a service guy, but I've been working on Volkswagens since about 1983. So I like using this Carter fuel pump as my holding base. So when I'm doing my rods, so this reminds me, I'm going to talk to the person who's going to put it in, and if it's a platinum. Or if it's a platinum motor, we're going to throw this in with the regulator and everything. Premium motor, we're going to highly recommend it. So I like using the Carter fuel pump. And what I like to do about that is if you get it and you put it not in the back, but you put it in the front underneath the fuel tank, and then you run your regulator in the back, and then the gauge, so that you're going to get some good fuel to it. Because if you don't, it doesn't matter how we built this. If it is not getting good fuel, if it's getting too much fuel, if it's not getting good enough fuel, or it gets starved, it's going to blow up. It's not going to be worth it. So especially with this motor here, we're going to be running with the dual 40s. This is going to... Here's some CBs. We're going to put 32 Venturis in it, and then we're going to do some mild porting work to it. So this is going to be just, I believe, a very good torquey motor. We're going to use 90.5s, and this is going to be working very, very well. And then how we're going to control this. Yes, we know that this is a cast crank, and we're not supposed to talk about that. But here's just to keep the cost down, and they do a good job. Coltec this is their 110 version of a cam. And so for this application, if we were going to run in 1.25 ratio rockers, it would be at the valve lift of 492, which is under 500. Most people are going to say with the 110, it has pretty crazy ramps. But it's tried and proven cam. I've run 110s for years and years and years. So everyone has their own formula. But on this one here, we're going to run we're going to be using their version of the 110. We're actually not going to be using the 1.25 ratio rockers, but we're also going to be using the SCAT heavy duty single springs. basically between 450 to 500 valve lift they're good for. So I'm going to be on the conservative end, and we're going to go with some solid rockers on 1-to-1 ratios, and this is going to be a little bit easier, so I don't have to really work heavy on the valve geometry. It should be pretty simple. And so basically we're just going to be a valve lift of 432, and we're going to have 281 duration. So with this cam and the heads done up with some clean, simple ports with the dual 40s with 32 Venturis and 90.5s with the 78.8, it's going to be a nice 2028. We're going to be probably running, the recommendation is 8.25 to 8.75. I think for this application here, because we're going to be a little bit more spicy, we're going to have the dual carbs and we're going to have the light and flywheel. So because of that, I think we're going to be about 8.75. I want to keep it under 9 because I just want, cost-effective fuel where you just take it off, go 87 octane, throw it in. Yes, I know you need 93 octane to run Volkswagens with ethanol, but let's talk about it. A lot of times someone just wants a daily driver, it's going to work. So there's my little 2 cents to it. I hope this helps out, and this is with building a basic or a premium motor, old school, and let's learn together series. Boom.